Hello everyone and welcome to a new lesson with Miss Rafa. Today we're going to talk about the grammar skill. Unit 3, Medicine and Poetry. If you're ready, let's get started. Grammar, passive voice. Let's see the first exercise. Read the story. Underline an example of the present passive, the past passive, the present perfect passive, the present continuous passive, and the future passive. How do you form the passive? عنا هلأ نص رح نحدد فيه جمل المبني للمجهول بجميع أنواعها سواء الماضي أو الحاضر أو المستقبل. Let's see. A local jewelry shop was broken into by someone yesterday. كلمة by بتدل على أنه الجملة مبني للمجهول. مندور على الفعل was broken. عنا was زائد الفعل بالتصريف الثالث معناها هو past passive ماضي مبني للمجهول. The shop had just been locked up by the owner when he was threatened by a robber with a gun. عنا had معناها ماضي، been معناها تام، والفعل بالتصريف الثالث معناها passive. had been locked past perfect passive. وقلنا الباي بتدل على أنه الجملة مبني للمجهول. was threatened was زائد الفعل بالتصريف الثالث past passive. He was told by the robber to unlock the shop and give him all the diamonds in the safe. Was told was زائد الفعل بالتصريف الثالث past passive. Then he was tied up by the robber. Was زائد الفعل بالتصريف الثالث past passive. A search has been organized by the police for the robber. Has been organized. has زائد been زائد الفعل بالتصريف الثالث present perfect passive. It is hoped he will be found in a few days. Is زائد الفعل بالتصريف الثالث present passive. will زائد be زائد الفعل بالتصريف الثالث future passive. The owner of the shop is being treated by doctors for shock. Is زائد being زائد الفعل بالتصريف الثالث present continuous passive. طبعا الفعل بزمن المبني للمجهول لازم دايما يكون فيه be سواء be بالمصدر أو بالماضي was were أو بالحاضر am و is و are أو ممكن يكون مع ing being لازم دايما يكون في عنا be. Let's see the second question. Fill in the gaps with the correct passive forms of the verbs in brackets. I'm sorry this office is so dirty, but it can't be cleaned until tomorrow morning. كان تحتاج دايما لمصدر بعدها، وبما أنه الفعل مبني للمجهول فمنحط be وبعدها منحط الفعل الأساسي بالتصريف الثالث. دائما بالمبني للمجهول الفعل الأساسي لازم يكون بالتصريف الثالث. These clothes are designed for daily use, so you can wear them wherever you want. Many offices of large companies have been built in the town center recently. Recently بتدل على أنه الفعل بالحاضر التام. All the goods that were purchased yesterday have defects, so they are being sent back to the manufacturer right now. Right now بتدل على أنه الفعل بالحاضر المستمر. Camera footage shows that illegal goods were smuggled into the warehouse last week. Last week معناها الفعل بالماضي البسيط. Past passive. The pooped was captured, or we can say had been captured, and all its efforts to escape from the trap were in vain. The hotel near our office was closed because it was being renovated by the owner. Your car is a death trap. It should have been sent to the scrape years ago. Question C. Change the following sentences into passive. My neighbor disappeared 6 months ago. I haven't seen him since then. أولاً منحط الجملة الأساسية مثل ما هي. My neighbor disappeared 6 months ago. هلأ منحط المفعول به أولاً، فهم بتصير هي. بعدها منحط الفعل بالمبني للمجهول. الحاضر التام بصير حاضر تام مبني للمجهول. hasn't been seen. وآخر شي منحط التتمة since then. He hasn't been seen since then. طبعا بنقدر نقول been in British or been in American. The organizers will not exhibit the paintings till the end of the month. The paintings will not be exhibited by the organizers till the end of the month. Scientists expect that people will live on Mars in 2050. People are expected by scientists to live on Mars in 2050. ننتبه للفظ كلمة thousand وكلمة Mars. Or we can say الطريقة الثانية. It's expected by scientists that people will live on Mars in 2050. طبعا حطينا الفاعل بين قوسين لأنه ممكن نحطه وممكن نحذفه. التركيز بجملة المبني للمجهول هو على الحدث نفسه وليس على الفاعل. ولذكر الفاعل نستخدم دايما قبله by. Number 4. Police officers were examining the evidence when the lights went off. The evidence was being examined by police officers when the lights went off. The committee asked me some difficult questions in the interview yesterday. I was asked by the committee some difficult questions in the interview yesterday. Or we can say, some difficult questions were asked to me by the committee in the interview yesterday. Sammy's parents must have brought him up to be more polite. Sammy must have been brought up by his parents to be more polite. After the interview, the owner had already offered me the job at his bank. After the interview, I had already been offered the job by the owner at his bank. Or we can say, after the interview, the job had already been offered to me by the owner at his bank. Now let's move on to the activity book. Let's see the first question. Change the following sentences into passive as in the example. People say Tom Cruise is the richest movie star. We can say either it is said that Tom Cruise is the richest movie star, or Tom Cruise is said to be the richest movie star. Now 1. They reported that the railway line was buried under tons of rocks and earth. We can say, it was reported that the railway line was buried under tons of rocks and earth. Or we can say, the railway line was reported to be buried under tons of rocks and earth. Number 2. Environmentalists estimate that 1,500 square kilometers of rainforests is cut every year. We can say either it is estimated by environmentalists that 1,500 square kilometers of rainforests is cut every year, or we can say 1,500 square kilometers of rainforests is estimated by environmentalists to be cut every year. Number 3. Jane's friends have thought that she's furious at losing her job. We can say, It has been thought by Jane's friends that she is furious at losing her job. Or we can say, Jane has been thought by her friends to be furious at losing her job. Or we can say of being furious at losing her job. Number 4. Students claim that this examination will be the most difficult one. We can say, it is claimed by students that this examination will be the most difficult one. Or we can say, this examination is claimed by students to be the most difficult one. Number 5. The professor is showing his students the results of his research in the laboratory now. We can say, the professor's students are being shown the results of his research in the laboratory now. Or we can say, the results of the professor's research are being shown to his students in the laboratory now. Number 6. The government will pay Dr. Mahmoud 20 million Syrian pounds for his great invention. We can say, Dr. Mahmoud will be paid by the government 20 million Syrian pounds for his great invention. Or we can say, 20 million Syrian pounds will be paid by the government to Dr. Mahmoud for his great invention. The secretary has told the manager some bad news about the new project. We can say, the manager has been told by the secretary some bad news about the new project. Or we can say, some bad news has been told to the manager by the secretary about the new project. By the way, we can say news or we can say news. Number 8. The teacher was asking us a very difficult question when the school bell rang. We can say, we were being asked by the teacher a very difficult question when the school bell rang. Or we can say, a very difficult question was being asked by the teacher to us when the school bell rang. Now let's move on to the next exercise. Change the following questions using the passive voice. For example, where do manufacturers make glass containers? Where are glass containers made by manufacturers? When is he going to pay the taxes? When are the taxes going to be paid? How much do they spend on these activities? How much are these activities spent on? Will you pay the fine tomorrow? Will the fine be paid tomorrow? Has anybody shown you what to do? Have you been shown what to do? Why didn't they mend the roof before it fell down? Why wasn't the roof mended before it fell down? That's everything for today. Thank you very much. See you next lesson.